Come on, Hamilton. All right, issue 2. Is council the big D word? What did you think the D word meant when you saw the headline?
No.
There's so many D words that are pejoratives when you think about it. Let your mind spin for a bit. Dysfunctional is the word. And the reason why this is, I guess, a little bit of a scare for council is that 2 councils ago, they were branded as dysfunctional. They couldn't get anything done. Wait, whose term was that under? Was that under
Yep.
Right. And so now, we had the last term of council where some thought that they were strong in spite of their relationship with the mayor, who they censured, and they got stuff done. But now we seem to be breaking down along the old city and suburban lines on several critical issues, and some pretty ridiculous talk coming out of Sam Marula's mouth towards Ancaster that's got Ancaster and some other councillors' backs up that was unnecessarily over the top. So where do you see it, Loren? Are we now saddled with a dysfunctional council that's not going to get anything productive done?
I'm not sure that we can buy the standard line that they were an effective council last time around,
right.
In spite of the mayor and the mayor being only one vote, and if it was so wonderful last time and that mayor they didn't like and they like, you got to take all that aside. And I think what's going on is there's some emerging personality issues, that there are councillors who are snipping at each other on more than one occasion. It's really early in this 4-year term. It's not productive.
Well, we talked about an email exchange between Councillor Marula and Scott Duval last week.
They all look terrible.
They did.
When they behaved like that.
And then some of the comments that, I heard Marula on Bill Kelly's show. And 90% of what he said was about leadership and about, dealing with the ward redistribution, the ward boundary issue and getting ahead of things, and that's what leaders do. And I loved all that talk, and I told him so, which he was happy to retweet. But, laced in there, and it came out even more so later in a column, was in the Bill Kelly show, he was saying that anyone who didn't take a logical view of this was unintelligent, right? Which is not what you want to be saying as a leader, casting aspersions like that. But then it got even dirtier than that, right? It was comments about, Ancaster that got not just Ancaster councillors, but others who would have supported his motion, like Pearson. When is Pearson ever get angry? Saying I can't go along with this because the rhetoric is so inflammatory.
And it's not, yes, it is Sam that we're talking about at present, but it hasn't been just Sam.
Right.
It is too early. You're stuck with each other. Nobody's going anywhere except maybe Duval this fall. But figure it out, and it's really hard to ask the greater community to respect you guys when you can't respect each other in the way you communicate at council meetings, in the way that you email each other and otherwise. And if you have to do that, for God's sakes, please don't make it public. You are our elected officials. Please behave like you earned the job.
Well, I think I said in a rant last week or the week prior that if you're going to have all these shenanigans and all of this backroom stuff that it seems particularly below the belt in Hamilton, and if it's always been that way, at least lead us somewhere. But to have all of that non-professional behavior and possibly worse stuff going on, and to be unable to make good decisions on these major issues or put spotlights on their major $800 million public works department that has had scandal after scandal after scandal. I mean, this city isn't being managed well. And there's all of the other nonsense and shenanigans, right? So it's like, if you're going to play, they say Hamilton, politics is done with live bullets. If you're going to act like that, at least be successful in managing our tax dollars or something, right? You can't have it both ways. Or maybe that dysfunctional behavior, Loren, is the reason why these departments, these deals like the Waterfront Trust seem to be so egregious. Maybe it's because they can't manage when they're not working together. Is that a possibility?
Anything's a possibility. The narrative for a council, for a term of council, can be established really early, and we got to nip this in the bud now. And everybody needs to get back on track, give each other a handshake, a hug, or whatever it is you need to do, and get back to work for the greater good.
People might think that you and I want them to fight and act ridiculous because it's fun for TV.
Sure, if I didn't live here, I would.
Yeah, but we live here, exactly. Pay taxes, have business here, don't want to see my tax dollars being put down the toilet, and don't want to see what looks like corruption in some of our departments, and don't want to see us embarrassing ourselves. Okay, issue 3, is there going to be an HSR strike? Loren, as you know, today Council had a special meeting, emergency meeting to discuss the strike.